What's up, everyone, and welcome back, or welcome if this is your first visit. My name is Matt. Thanks for tuning in. On this channel, I review brand new cars. Today, I'm at Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, checking out this brand new 2026 Toyota Highlander and see if it's still a good vehicle to buy in 2026 with the fierce competition in the segment. So today, I'm going to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out, exterior, interior. We'll see what's changed for 2026 model year, and at the end of this video, I'm going to take you for a quick test drive. If you like watching videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If there's anything you liked about it, don't forget to give me thumbs up. And now let's get back to this. Well, Toyota Highlander is 25 years old. It was first introduced in 2000, went on sale in 2001, and this is 2026 model year. The fourth generation was redesigned in 2020. So this is the sixth year of the same body style. Quite frankly, with the introduction of the Grand Highlander in 2024, I thought that Toyota is going to discontinue the Highlander in a year or two, but apparently the sales are still pretty strong and the people are still buying them. So let's take a look at this limited trim model and see what it's all about. And even though the design is a few years old, I still like it. I like this sculpted hood and the lights. The lights are positioned high. They're LEDs as far as the daytime running lamps and the headlamps. However, the turn signals still have the incandescent light bulbs in them. We have the LED fog lamps on this limited trim level. And as far as the grille, it is shiny black surrounded by lots of chrome. We also have this large Toyota logo and the front-facing camera. And if you scroll down here, you'll see that there's a lot of matte black cladding at the bottom of this vehicle. Now let's pop this hood open. Let's see what's underneath it. Here underneath the hood, you'll find a familiar 2.4-liter turbocharged and intercooled four-cylinder engine. The power output, 265 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in about 7.2 seconds. We have an average gas consumption of 24 miles per gallon. We're definitely going to check out how it drives, the driving dynamics, and the acceleration at the end of this video. What else we have here? The ugly prop stick right here. We do have some sound insulation underneath the hood. And like I said, we're going to check out the driving dynamics at the end of this video. And as always, before we start driving, let's talk about the dimensions. We have a total width of 76 inches, height is 68.1, a length 194.9, and we have a wheelbase of 112.2. So this vehicle is about 10 inches shorter than its larger Grand Highlander. And it costs just about the same money. As a matter of fact, on paper, it looks a little bit more, but it comes standard with the all-wheel drive system. So this limited trim sits on 20-inch wheels. I like this kind of polished aluminum design. We have the tire size, 235 by 55 on 20-inch rim. And of course, the independent suspension, some black cladding around the wheel wells. And moving on to the mirrors, you see they're fully loaded. We have the turn signal, side view camera, blind spot assist, and the heated elements inside the mirrors. As far as the window surroundings, at the bottom we have some chrome. At the top, it's all blacked out. We also have the low profile roof rails, regular moonroof, and this vehicle is equipped with the crossbars as well. Now, proximity entry system for the front doors only. And let's move on to the back of it, see what's going on in here. I like these wraparound LED lights that look really good. I've liked them since they redesigned them back in 2020, and they still look good. Now, we still have the incandescent light bulb as far as the turn signals, and the light kind of sticking out, as you can see, around it. I like that look. Let me know what you think about it. We have the large Toyota logo, Highlander on one side, limited all-wheel drive. We have the reflector lights at the bottom. If equipped with the tow hitch, the Highlander can tow up to 5,000 pounds. So let's get this gate open. It can be accessed several different ways. One of them is to push the button on the remote. And while it's doing that, let's take a look and see what else we have. A lock, unlock, panic button, Toyota logo, and a Highlander that's spelled out in the back. We also have the physical key that's built inside of this key fob. And let's take a look and see what we have as far as the cargo space. So quite a bit less than on the Grand Highlander, because we have a total of about 16 cubic feet of space behind this third row seat. And I believe this is what the seats like this. Nobody sits like this, right? Take a look. Look at this. There's like no room in this third row seat. So this is an emergency use, kids use for sure. That's only. Let's see what's going on underneath here. So I have a little bit more storage right here. You can also have that cargo covered. You can take it out from here and put it up. And you have the tools to help you remove the spare tire. Oh, and in case you were wondering, yes, we do have the spare tire. It's actually mounted underneath the vehicle. So you're not going to get stranded if you have a blowout. JBL, the big speaker right here, that's subwoofer, part of this 11 speaker stereo. And the third row seat, of course, can be folded down. So drop it as such. That's easy because they're so close. And that gives you about 48 cubic feet of storage. And if you fold down the middle row seats, that's going to be about 84 cubic feet of storage. So it is about 16, almost 16 cubic feet less than on the Grand Highlander. And I'm going to attempt to get into this third row seat, but I also want to show you that the third row passengers have their own cup holders. And that's about it. Oh, wait, they have their own vents up there too. Well, let me pull them up and see if I can fit inside. Let's check it out how to get into this third row seat. So there's a lever on top of the seat. Just pull it up and move this seat out of the way. That gives you some access room. Now, I'm 6 feet tall, not the smallest person and not the most flexible one either, but I'm going to attempt to get inside this third row seat and give you some entertainment with it, right? Okay, so once sitting right here, yeah, it's okay, okay? Even though my knees are really high up, not the most comfortable sitting position. I have a limited shoulder room, no support underneath here whatsoever. And not even mention that if I move this seat, okay, not even all the way, but almost like, I don't know, this, I'm not even going to leave any room for the passenger in front. So let's be fair, okay? Yeah, I wouldn't fit there comfortably either. But let's see, I would smash my knees. So definitely kids only, and not adult friendly seat for sure. Well, whoever sits in here is going to have their own vents to cool off after trying to climb in this third row seat. But let's be honest, guys, just because I need a third row seat, it doesn't mean that everybody else does too. So for those of you who don't need a third row seat, the second row is actually very nice and comfortable. I have some space in front of my knees and I like to drive comfortably. I'm 6 feet tall. This seat is probably pushed back a little bit too far. So yeah, I could fit in behind it, no issues at all. I have about 2 inches above my head because the way that the headliner is profiled, not digging this vent that's right in my face in here. I gotta tell you, the manufacturers need to learn to move it either to the middle console or right here in this B pillars. I think that's going to be a lot more comfortable for people that are sitting in the back here. Now, as far as the shoulder room, no issues here. Overall, a good looking interior. Let's take a look. So we're going to start right here in this rear door panel. And, you know, we have the manual sunshade, which is a big plus. We also have a lot of this hard plastic, which is a big minus in my book. They need to learn how to put a little bit softer materials in here. I like this trim kind of simulating the wood grain, and we have the nice soft inlay and the armrest. More storage room for like drinks at the bottom of the seat. And check this out. The seats are covered with leather, so they're leather trimmed seats. This is not Softex. You get the Softex on the lower trims, right, which is the man-made leather. We have the armrest right here with the cup holders and you know, very slight bump right at the bottom. You have your own control for the rear climate controls, the USB, let's see what they are, the USB Type-C, and the regular 100 watts power outlet. So that's what's going on right here in the back. Oh, and the seat back have pockets in both driver and passenger seats. Let's check it out and see what's going on in the front. And before we get inside, let's listen to the sound of the closing door. It's average, maybe just a little bit above average. I think the Grand Highlander actually sounds better as far as the sound of the closing door. So here's the situation is a little bit different. This is actually a softer touch plastic, which I kind of wish that they used in the back as well. Same kind of trim. We have 2 memory seat settings positions. We have the mirror controls as well as the window and lock controls, more storage at the bottom. Right, they have the 1 speaker in that door as well. Now Highlander spelled out on the door sill. The seats, both driver and passenger, have power adjustments. Now we have a little bit more bolstering here. They're heated, ventilated. Now it's perforated in the middle right here for that ventilation system on the seats. And let's see what's going on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. So we have a bunch of buttons in here. Let's take a look and see what they are. Heated steering wheel, power lift gate, camera view. We have the automatic lights, and you can turn on or off that automatic start-stop feature. Also the odometer trip reset and the dimmer switch. And that's where you open your hood. This is where you open your gas door. And tilt and telescoping steering wheel. This is a manual adjustment. Let me jump inside. I'll show you what else is going on. And let's listen to the sound of the closing door from the inside here. That's a little bit better, surprisingly. And let's see what's going on the interior of this 2026 Highlander. This is the limited trim. So let's take a look and see what's going on. Starting on the right-hand side. I like this trim. This is not very reflective, not very shiny, kind of this gunpowder metallic trim. We have the softer dashboard, big vents over here. We have an additional shelf. There's a lot of shelves in this vehicle for putting on a cell phone or anything smaller that you can fit in there. JBL speaker right in this A-pillar, large screen, another shelf, and take a look at the steering wheel. I actually like Toyota steering wheels quite a bit. They're very comfortable to the touch. They're the right size. They have the thick bottoms if you're into that kind of stuff. And then they have the stitching on the inside and a little bit thicker spots over here for that better grip. Now, again, not shiny. So really good Toyota. You don't put a lot of shiny materials, at least not on the steering wheel. There's places that you do. And then we have a bunch of adjustments that you can make to what's going on in the instrument cluster, back button, phone, pickup, hang up, voice control, volume. That's what you have on the right-hand side. On left-hand side, on the right-hand side, you have the different modes for stereo, seek, track, your cruise control, lane keep assist, and the forward collision warning. And that's actually where you can adjust that adaptive cruise control. So no pedal shifters here, but you can switch it with the regular gear shifter. I'll show you that. We have the regular light controls, and on the other side we have the wiper control. So here's your digital instrument cluster. Let's see what's going on. So I have the lane traffic assist, blind spot monitoring, pre-collision sensing, parking sensor, rear cross traffic alert, pre-collision sensing with braking, the road sign assist, vehicle settings, meter settings. So you can set this all up. And here, let's go back and let's see what else we have. So on the right-hand side, speedometer, left-hand side, tachometer. The vehicle has 72 miles to empty. It's a brand new car. It's got 6.1 miles. So you can change the different meter views. As you can see, 2, 3, and then we can select of what's going on. Once you hold that OK button, I can see what can be displayed in the meters here. So message, and then there's several different options that you can choose from, and nice customizable. We could pretty much see that on all of the newer Toyota models. So this is not just exclusive to Highlander. They put the same technology in all of them. So once you've seen one, you've seen them all, that type of stuff. Okay, so this is your customization for the instrument cluster. And I wanted to see if it has this video blind spot monitoring, since it has the cameras that are built in the mirrors, but it doesn't. Like some of the competitors have the little screen that shows up that displays what's going on the right-hand side, left-hand side, depending on which turn signal you turn on. Now we have a bigger screen in here, 12.3 inches, I believe. Let's select English, and we're going to continue in the setup later. So they're almost there. We're going to exit this out. All right, so kind of annoying little beep over here. but we have the subscription-based navigation system that's been Toyota thing for many years. So if you like to have their built-in navigation, you have to subscribe to their service. You can also use Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Both of them are available wirelessly. Enable Auto. I'm going to go in the settings and see if the sound and media. So levels, media, radio. And one thing about me that I'm going to actually dig in until I find it. Sorry about that. Accessibility. Here, screen beep off. Oof. That is so much nicer without this annoying beep. But I guess this is for accessibility for people maybe with hard hearing. So that's definitely helpful for some people. Now, what else we have? As far as the rear view camera, let's put it back in reverse. Whoa, this is good quality. It is really good quality. Now we're going to mute this alert temporarily, but it shows you where we're at. We're close to the bushes in front. You have the really good clarity, top-down view. You have the good quality camera in the back. You have trajectory lines. All right, no complaints here whatsoever. I think they've really done a nice job with this rear view camera here. And move it back in the park so we don't roll. What else we have? This is kind of an old school. Not bad. Most of the manufacturers are putting all of the controls in the screens, and people like their physical buttons and knobs. So this is where you adjust your temperature. You can sync it, you can unsync it. You have the heated and ventilated seats right here in the front for driver and passenger. You can turn on or off the rear climate control if you'd like to, and you have this little tiny screen that shows you what's going on. It also shows up on the big screen too. So depending on which way you want to control it, you can control it both ways. I think a lot of people appreciate that classic, that standard feature. Now we have the large vents in here and the hazard lights. Also the warning that Toyota will track you unless you call them and tell them not to, but they'll, track this vehicle. And we have the wireless charging pad. Surprisingly, my smaller phone doesn't even fit in here. Okay, so what is it for? Okay. See, this is a regular Samsung A something. So this is not even the larger phone that I have. And it won't fit in here. So, I mean, in case this doesn't happen, you have the regular charging ports at the bottom, which what I would have to use. The USB Type-C, the USB Type-A, regular 12-volt power outlet. So even if you have the old style connection to your phone, you still are able to charge it. All right, we have some warning labels, cup holders. Okay, hill descent assist, snow mode, traction control off, brake hold, parking brake, that's on, and then we have the drive modes. So we also have this. So the drive modes, we have the sport, normal, and eco, and we also have the terrain modes, which is mud and sand, and rock and dirt. So check this out, because this is a pretty cool display. Mud and sand and rock and dirt. I like it. I like the display. I'm not sure what it does, but it does something, obviously. The regular style shifter here. Okay, put it in reverse, and the beep is back on. No, that was another beep. Okay, I like the depth of this console over here. Can we remove this? There you go. This is pretty deep, and it has an additional 12-volt power outlet, so plenty of charging options for the whole family, at least in the front, that is, right? Up on top, we have the mirror. Is it the digital mirror? No, but it has a HomeLink system that's built inside of here. I wish we had this digital mirror, because as you can see now, I had the headrest up in the third row seat, and you can barely see what's going on in the back. We have the sunglass holder with this mirror that my wife loves this mirror. Okay, we have it on our vehicle, and she uses that more than anything else. So the ability to turn on and off the lights. And then we have the regular sunroof that opens up. One touch open, one touch close. And we have the tilt feature as well, and manual sunshade. As far as the visors, we have the mirrors with illumination. And this is it, guys. This is the interior of this 2026 Toyota Highlander. Now, I don't think anything's changed since 2025 model year, really, other than the all-wheel drive being standard on all the models, and I believe they dropped the LE trim. So with that said, let's see what trims are available, talk about pricing, take it for a spin. And let's take a look at the website because it's interesting. So Toyota Highlander for 2026 model year starts with an XLE, so no longer LE is available. And the price went up, $45,270, and that's because they made the all-wheel drive standard on this vehicle. I want to switch over to the Grand Highlander just for your comparison. That starts with the LE, and the LE with the front-wheel drive starts at $41,360, XLE with the front-wheel drive at $44,130. So you can see if you want to save a little bit more money, I think they want you to go with their bigger model with the Grand Highlander, right? But sticking to the Highlander XLE, $45,270. XSE 47,340. Limited is the one that I'm sitting in right now, 49,725, and the Platinum at 52,925. There's a sticker on this vehicle here. So we have a total MSRP 54,065. Now that includes the about $1,500 of accessories from the Southeast Toyota Distributors LLC. Let me explain that. For those of you who are not in the Southeast, Florida, Georgia, I believe South Carolina, and Mobile, so that's Alabama, I think, they get their vehicles from the Southeast Toyota Distributors LLC. It's a company that was still privately owned, and they're in charge of accessorizing vehicles that are getting in the port, and then they're getting shipped off to the dealership. So somebody got a great deal on that, and I know who it was. Anyways, every vehicle that gets to the dealership has to go through there, and then they put some accessories. It is unclear to me, and if you know, put it in the comment section, if the dealer has any say of what they need, but they need to order certain options from that distributor center. So, like for example, on this sticker, 49,725 is the standard MSRP. Now, the only factory charges are premium paint at $475 and the panoramic view monitor at $850. Okay, and then on the other side, on the Southeast Toyota Distributors, we have $699 for Toyota Platinum. That includes 2 oil and filter changes at any Toyota dealer, 4 tire rotations. We have the crossbars at $449. You have the rear bumper protector, $159, multimedia screen protector, and the phone cable package at $79. So these are the charges that are at the Southeast Distribution Center. Whatever your dealer puts on top of that, that's still on top. So there's a lot of phases that this vehicle is just getting more and more expensive. But the base MSRP on this one would have been $51,050 if it wasn't for that Southeast Distribution Center. So keep an eye out on that if you're in Florida or anywhere in the Southeast. That's what you get. I'm not sure if any other parts of the country get similar deals. Let me know if that's the case, because that would be curious to know. So we have the trims out of the way. Of course, there's a hybrid version. Now, the hybrid's got the 2.5 liter hybrid system, about 245 horsepower, so 20 horsepower less, but it gets much better gas mileage. And really, it's only not even $2,000 more. It's about $1,800 more for the hybrid from the XLE to XLE, and then the hybrid limited from $49,725 to $51,475. The hybrid platinum is at $54,675. I'm going to try to bring that on the channel and see how that drives. But overall, you know, that the biggest difference is really you give up a little bit of horsepower in favor of the miles per gallon. Well, let's move it out of this spot and make a full circle, turn it around, see how the turning radius is on this vehicle, and take it for a quick spin. So turn the steering wheel all the way to the left. Okay, that's just about the same as the Grand Highlander. Okay, it's not any better, even though this vehicle is about 10 inches shorter, but I think the wheelbase is the same. And we're going to take it for a quick spin. You can definitely hear this engine working. Not super loud, but you know, the noise is there. Overall, a smooth ride. I'm going to leave it in the, actually, I'm going to put it in the normal mode. So good visibility. We have this large windshield. I can see clearly above the dashboard. There's no obstructions, no huge screens in my way. The screen is very visible too. It's got some glare, but not as bad as some of the competitors where, you know, the screens are exposed, both the instrument cluster and the infotainment system. Mirrors are decent size. Yeah, I would complain about this rear view just because, you know, if there's somebody sitting in the back, that's going to be very limited. So definitely a rear view camera mirror would be a nice addition. So if I were to equip it with something else, that would be it. Just want to make sure that it's not there. No. But overall, a smooth ride. Acceleration. It is a little bit slower than the Grand Highlander. Now we're going to check it out from stop to about, you know, maybe 40, 50, depending on what this street allows us to. But it is a little bit slower than the Grand Highlander. Surprisingly, the larger vehicle is rated at about 7 seconds 0 to 60. This one's rated about 7.2 seconds. Not that anybody's going to be like really picky about that, but, you know, it's just something there. So it looks like, in my opinion, Toyota's kind of trying to push the larger Grand Highlander versus this, even though this one's been selling pretty good according to the salespeople at the Beaver Toyota. By the way, if you guys have any automotive needs, if you're we're in Florida, want to ask a question, or want to you know, buy a new or pre-owned vehicle, the turning is pretty good. Ask for Frank here at Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine. He'll be happy to help you out with any of your automotive needs. It's really helpful and very knowledgeable as well. I'll leave the phone number in the description of this video. So let's do the acceleration test. And we're going to stop right here. Okay, there's nobody behind us. And I'm at 0. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, so we got it up to about 50. Not bad. I mean, is it something that's super exhilarating? No. I mean, it's going to do the job. I mean, it's not a super fun vehicle to drive in that aspect as far as the performance or acceleration, but it feels very comfortable. You know, and by the way, this is an 8-passenger configuration. There's a no charge option, right? So you can choose between the 7 or 8-passenger configuration. And normally, if it came with a 7-passenger configuration, you'll have 2 captain chairs in the back. So there are rumors that for 2027, the Grand Highlander is going to be fully redesigned. There's some people saying that there might be some electrification in the future. I don't know if Toyota's going to go for the fully electric 3-row SUV. I guess time will tell. So far, I mean, they were betting on the hybrids, and I think their bets are paying off, because the hybrids, in my opinion, are the way of the future, especially like the plug-in hybrids that gives you like the best of both worlds. Well, guys, we're back at the dealership, and let's quickly sum it all up and let me know what you think about this 2026 Toyota Highlander. Put it in the comment section below. Does it still have a place in the market, or in your opinion, should it be discontinued in favor of the Grand Highlander and just have one instead of 2 very similar products as far as Toyota is concerned? Would you buy this, or would you opt in for something else? That's usually a question that I ask, and you guys deliver in the comment section, so please do it as well on this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked this, and if you did, don't forget to give me a like, subscribe for more automotive content, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.